Welcome back to ATM10 to the sky. So, hopefully you're having a good day, and let's get working on some stuff. So the first thing I want to do this episode is make a couple of these dyes. Yeah, they're like fluid dyes, but we can make like cobblestone generators out of them. So I want to make white dye, light gray dye, and black dye, just so we have those base colors. Because what I want to do is I want those blocks running so that we can start making the mega base. I don't want to be like, grasping for blocks. Is this a trader? Ooh, beacon. So I don't want to be like, oh, I don't have enough blocks to do this. So I just want to get a couple of, where'd this guy go? A couple of those generators up. We can only buy one. Oh, that sucks. Well, now we have a beacon. That's cool. But I want to get a couple of those generators up so we're not worried about gathering blocks. So I'm going to get a little create setup going so that we can make these. It's literally just standard create mixing with water and whatever dye it is, and you get the gray dye. So I guess we're gonna have to do it 4 times. Okay, so I think we place this here, then we will place a little cogwheel. Yeah, just like that. That's how I want to place it. Cogwheel crank. And does this work? Yes. Okay, so let's get whatever dyes we need. Okay, now that we got our 4 dyes, should we add a different color? Maybe we'll do like a blue. Oh, let's do purple. You know, I think these colors and purple concrete will look really nice. Purple dye. Cool. So we're gonna get 5 of these colors. I think we need a sink. We need some buckets. And so let's see how to do this. Do we just toss our dye in like this? Toss some of our dye in. And I think we just crank. Looks like it's working. Let's keep on going until whenever it's done, I guess. So it looks like it's done. Now we have a white dye bucket. Toss our purple in there. And I'll just do this with all the colors. Cool. So now we got our 5 buckets. We got to set up the lava portion of it. Alright, so I have all our dye like this, and there's lava back here. We just need to figure out a way to break this. But I'm thinking of doing the breaker modules. I'm not really sure how these work, but I'm going to try to do it and see if it works. Okay. So, after some thorough testing, thorough being a very strong word, we're going to put routers across this line. So a router will go here, for example, with this block breaking module face to down, and this should just automatically work, I guess. So yeah, let me try this with 5 routers and see how this goes. Okay, so I got this one working. So let's set up this one. So we're going to use a sender module. We're going to click C. We'll set that to front. And we're going to come over here with the breaker module. We'll set that to down. And that should start breaking. Cool. We'll come over here. Breaker module. Down. Sender module. Front. There. Now this is all working. Just like that. Okay, now this should slowly be making us all the blocks that we need. For our base. I'm going to put some upgrades in this too. First things first, this is really loud, so. Okay, well that doesn't work. So we're going to set up an anchor. I will take this back. We're going to come over here. Click E. Go to our sounds. Click 2. Set anchor. Stone break, muffle sound, edit anchor. The radius is going to be like 4, except. So now if we come over here and we break some stone, we can still hear it. But we don't have to listen to this. We can even mute the lava noises if we want. But yeah. Alright, so let's make some upgrades for these. But we have no wood. That's a problem. I guess I'll just go slap some trees down. Man, reminds me of episode 1. working for the trees, man. I still do enjoy doing some of this stuff manually, but eventually we just gotta automate this stuff. I'm actually not really even sure how to automate logs, but I also haven't looked into it like at all. So, yeah. I wonder if we should already have this like automated, but who knows. So we're gonna make a hopper botany pot. We'll take one of our diamond chests that we have. Sapling, and let's see. Usages. I guess we'll just toss dirt. I don't really know how these work. There used to be a lot you could do with botany pots, like when like what even was it? What mod pack was it? It was like Sky Factory 4 or something. I'm pretty sure botany pots were like the thing, but oh, we need an axe for this as well. Wow. Hopefully that doesn't take durability. So we put a botany pot, and we put what? Farmland. I just hoed that on accident. It says we can do logs in botany pots, but I don't know. I guess this just doesn't work. I don't know what I did wrong. Whatever. I'm gonna leave it there. Maybe it'll do something. I don't know. Maybe it takes a little bit. Okay. So now we should have 5 of these upgrades, these diamond upgrades. We just come over here and we slap them on these drawers. So now these hold 50k instead of 2k. You can see that on the top. Yeah, very nice. All right, let's get working on our AE2 stuff now. First things first, I want to get a bunch of these dense smart cables so we can see how many channels we have. So we need a bunch of wool for that. Hopefully we have a lot of string. Yes, we do. We're going to take a bunch of this. And I wonder if, can we hit Shift K? Nope. What if we just hit K? Nope. So yeah, we're just going to make a bunch of wool using our string. Go over here, put that in. Awesome. So now these dense cables are kind of a doozy to make, but I'll walk you through the process. So the ME dense smart cable will do this recipe. So it takes 4 Fluix ME smart cables. To get a Fluix ME smart cable, you need a Fluix ME covered cable. And with that, you need the glass cables. So we have 60 of these. Now using these, we can make the smart cable. Now with the smart cables, we make these. So now these cables are big boys. I'll move this for a second just so I can show you. So we'll place that there. These cables are behemoths. Place our drive in. So it says 0 of 32 channels. So for example, if I connect our ME drive to this, it will say 1 channel right here, right? And these controllers can only take, I believe, 32 channels each. So this is 1 of 32 channels, and each of these cables can hold 32 channels. So now at the back of this cable, I'm growing the pickle. It says 1 channel, but I think if we move this to over here, right, the end of the cable, it says 1 of 32 channels all the way down the line. So now that 1 channel is being taken all the way down this dense cable. So I believe it's better just to keep it right here. But yeah, let's get some things attached to this dense cable. We don't actually need it to go out this far. I just wanted to show you the example just so we have a few dense cables for our channel. But yeah, we're going to want a good amount of these dense cables and a good amount of these smart cables, which we can just convert. But yeah, now that we have these channels, we can make our modular or molecular assemblers and our pattern providers. And this is how we'll actually do the auto crafting. So let's get to doing this. Got to just keep on crafting up. Oh, we get Certus quartz dust from this. I was taking our Certus quartz crystal, putting that in there. I didn't realize that we get surge quartz dust. What an oversight on my part. Wow. Well, I guess that's good to know. Got a bunch of our logic processors, which we need a ton of. And we need to keep on making these cores. We'll make 12, and then we need a bunch of annihilation cores as well. Perfect. Toss that in there. So we need 8 molecular assemblers, and we're also going to need 8 of these pattern providers. And for some reason, we just need 1 million crafting tables. So now we have 64. So I believe the best way to set this up is in a checkerboard pattern like this. And this is where we'll be putting our recipes. So I believe this is the best way to set this up. So this takes 8 channels, because I don't think these pattern providers take up any channels. I don't like stepping on the pickle. It makes a weird noise. But these molecular assemblers do. So these are the things that actually do the crafting. And you can put acceleration cards in each of these to make the crafting go quicker. We don't really need to do that right now. But then each of these hold 9 patterns. So 9 times 8 patterns we can hold. But yeah, this will take up 8 channels all the way down this smart cable. So if we really wanted to, we could set up 32 of each of these. But that's a little overkill for now. But when you're crafting using these, you need something called not a crafting storage. You need the crafting coprocessor, I believe. Let's see. Yes, you need the co-processing unit. This basically, I don't really know what it does, but you just need it for the crafting. So yeah, let's get a couple of those, and we're gonna want to do a 16K crafting storage. That means it can take 16,000 basically crafting steps, I believe, for one recipe. So if we need to make something that's super intense to make, we'll have enough because we have the 16K crafting. Now we have our 16K, and we need another crafting unit. What are we missing from the crafting unit? That's weird that it didn't split it up. That's fine. Now we have our 16K crafting storage. I think we place it like that. And this basically means that we can craft, I think, 3 different items at the same time. I believe so. Should we make a monitor as well? Yeah, that's all right. So let's try to make a few patterns. Sure, we made 14 blank patterns. So what's something we want to try to craft? So now the channels say 9 of 32. So I'm just making a network called ME stuff so that this can pull out energy and put it into all of these. Except it's not connecting to the netherite furnace because we don't have a factory augment. Cool. Click that on, and this should be provided with power. Hopefully these furnaces are fine. Yes, they are. Awesome. So this looks really ugly, but I just kind of want to show how the auto crafting works. I moved all our inscribers from here to here. Well, I moved 4 of them, but yeah. I forgot to put the acceleration cards in, I think. Oh, they're in my inventory. So, bop, 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 and bop. Cool. I think we only need 4. You'll see why. But yeah, let me set up an auto crafting recipe for something, and we will go from there. So let's go through how to make an ME pattern provider automatically. So the recipe is this, right? So this is the base recipe to make the ME pattern provider. We're going to want to encode that using these blank patterns. So cool, that's encoded. But now we need to think to ourselves, what else do we need to encode to make this ME pattern provider? So it's like the first easy thing is like, okay, crafting tables. So you come here, cool, oak planks. And now it's like, oh, how do I get oak planks? From logs. So we'll always have logs in the system, well, I hope. So now we have oak planks, go to the crafting table, which goes to the ME pattern provider. Okay, so let's go back to the ME pattern provider. Now it's how do we make a formation core? So we do the formation core. And we also do the annihilation core. So it's now, how do we do logic processors and what else? Yeah, logic processors. Do these take the same recipe? What is the difference in these two recipes? Oh, this one's quartz. Okay. So logic processor, it takes printed circuit logic, redstone, and silicon. So now we encode that. But now we also have to encode the printed silicon. And for the logic processor, we also need the logic circuit. Cool. So I'm pretty sure that's everything that we need. Besides the Fluix dust, which we will also make a pattern for. But yeah. So we'll come over here, because these inscribers have our universal presses in them. And we will put this and this, since these need the universal presses. These do not need the universal presses, so we'll put them in here. And this is where we'll put just the crafting recipes. So now, if we go over here into our terminal and we type in pattern provider, we click this and it's like, okay, I want to make 5 of them. It says how many bytes are being used to craft, and we'll craft it. So we'll click start. If we come over here, oh, it's already done. Okay, well, that was cool. Yeah, so we made 5 ME pattern providers. Nice and easy. I guess that wasn't really a good showing because none of these machines turned on. But yeah, they would have. They would have. Well, I mean, we can... Sure, let's make 10, and hopefully these machines turn on. Yeah, so see the Fluix dust is going on. We need to put on auto export, auto export, auto export, auto export. Very cool. And it made 10 more. See how easy that was? So that's how we do the auto crafting. Nice and simple. This will also need to put on auto output, auto input. Yeah, so if there's ever something that we need to smelt a bunch of, like glass, for example, we'll put that provider in here, or that pattern in here. But that's the basis of how this works. Now, this is really, 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 really ugly right now, but that's okay, because we're going to make a super nice base. Should we get started on that? So this is kind of what I'm going for right now. Something like this. I don't know if I like it or not, or I don't really know what I'm doing with it. But I'm gonna have this come up, because I don't know if I want to keep this island or not, is the problem. Because I don't know. But I want this to come up and then it's gonna go out into a circle. But for now, we're gonna keep this island, so we're gonna have basically this pillar coming out for now. I think I'm gonna put some sort of like illuminating blocks in this column. But yeah, I like the purple and the gray. I think it's a good color scheme. Or it's dark gray, not light gray. Oh, it's just straight gray. I'm just lying to everyone. But yeah, I think I like this color scheme for now. I just gotta figure out how to basically just make it look a little bit nicer. I just realized we can chisel these blocks as well, if that's something that we decide to do. I don't hate this. I'm just gonna have to design the sides. But yeah. Do we think the black looks nicer? Or does the white look nicer with the purple? I kind of like the white. Is that crazy to say? It might be too much white, though. I don't hate the white. Should we change this to white to see how it looks? Or should we just go white and black? Oh, I think I like the black better. I don't know. What do we think, guys? Should we try the black with the white? I don't know which one I like more. I feel like the black is like too dark. I kind of like that too. Because I don't want it to be one color. And then we could do purple up the middle, maybe. I don't know, guys. I think the white's also too much. I don't know what to do. I took it all down. It's all going down. I think I also kind of realized that we need a spot to hold cables. Okay, I think this is a little bit better how we have it. So my plan is to have this a horizontal row. We'll send this out 11 blocks. Oh, that's not how I wanted that to go. We'll send this out 11 blocks. Are we out of white concrete? Not really. So this will go out 11 blocks this way. And here, like underneath here, we're going to basically have all our cable stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're wondering how I'm building like this, I'm just using like the building gadgets. They're super helpful for when you're building or like planning out bigger bases. But yeah. Okay, so there's the circle that we're going to use. And then we're going to go vertical from here. I kind of want this center area to be glass though. So we're going to look into that. I want a glass that's easy to see through. This is kind of what I came up with for the tower. I think this looks pretty cool. I'm way happier with this than I was with the other stuff. I really like the blocks in the middle. I'm going to keep on using them. They're called Luminax. Did I use all of them? Where'd they go? Lumin. Oh, they're right here. But yeah, they don't produce a shadow, I believe. They're super bright. So they look, I mean, they just look sick. But yeah, we're going to have basically cables running through this portion. We shouldn't need more than 3 cables if we do use cables. So yeah, cables can basically run through here. So this is going to be pretty much like 3 thick like this, and then I'll come back this way. So I'll basically come through right here. And this will be areas for cables if needed. But yeah. I'm just going to basically make a highway for the cables. And then the cables will obviously come to here and run up the wall for each floor. But I don't know if we're going to necessarily need to do that, but we'll see. It's better to be more prepared for it than not. So I honestly might end up dropping this like this, which isn't that big of a deal. But yeah, I think it might end up looking something like this on each side. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this looks right now. I mean, I've been building it by hand, though. Is the only issue. I've been pretty much building this entire area by hand. I think it actually might be cool to leave these little gaps open. so we could see the pipes if we're like down here. So I might actually just keep these gaps open. Yeah. So I'm going to keep the gaps open here, obviously on each of the sides. But yeah, I might run some glass down along this. Oh, I forgot to do this side. That's funny. Let me do this side. Oops. And I might do some other colors as well for these Luminax blocks, but we'll see. But yeah, I might want to try to run some glass across this. Oh no, I messed up so bad with the building wand. Oh no. I mean, that's my own fault, but dude, I messed up so bad with this building wand. I should have just used the gadget. I messed up so bad. Oh my god. I like nuked half the build. Alright, so I don't really know if I like how this floor looks here, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I might have to change it for something else, but I do like how this looks down here. I like how the pipes can come through as well in case we need them. So this looks really nice here. We need some sort of glass here for later. I'm going to keep these sides open, and maybe it just looks awkward because we don't have like a rim here yet. Maybe that would help. Actually, this might help a lot. Let me put a rim in. Yeah, I like the rim a lot better. Maybe I could put like pillars coming down here attaching to the island as well. That might be cool, like pillars coming down this way. But I'm not sure if I'm sold on this gray floor yet. Might have to swap it for something else. Or just do like a lighter. I don't know. It's like too much gray, kind of. But yeah, we're going to start doing operations up here now for the mega base. But yeah, we're going to go vertical. We're not going to go out. We're going to go up. So we're just going to do floor, 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 floor. And I would like each floor to have a different type of vibe. But we'll see. We'll see for sure. Should we go out like this? See, now it's like weird. Is it weird though? No, that's fine. That's fine. All right, let me fix this around the edges. Keep in mind, I'm no builder. I don't claim to be a builder. I just want a nice looking base. That's all. If you do have any suggestions though for the base, please let me know. Because I do like the white. But yeah, this'll rise up like this. But yeah, I think we should have like legs going down. It does look a little awkward right now. So maybe I'll work on that later at a later time. But I think legs coming down here would look cool. Like onto the island. Looks like we've grown out of the island. Could be cool. Could be cool. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Just got to figure out the floor here. It looks a little plain. But then we'll go from there. So, I think we did a lot this episode. I'm going to end it here because I've been building for like over 2 hours. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later and have a great day. Bye-bye.